Good morning. Hi there. Well, I have a blue board in our downstairs toilet, and it's all about summer. It's all about the summer. And it's got words like soak up the sun, relax, sandcastle, surfs up, relax, make a splash, picnic, smile, take a nap, all the fun things that we do in the summer. But then there are two words that says bucket and spade, bucket and spade. Now these two words stood out to me as I read it. And it started to bring back in my own life happy memories of when our two children, Joshua and Carlin, were younger and we would go to the coast on holiday. I remember us packing their bright colored little buckets, plastic buckets and spades into the boot. So when we got to the beach, we could sit for hours on end at the beach, where they would sit for hours and hours on end, filling up those buckets with their spades and their tiny little hands, filling it up. And then the great pleasure of throwing all that sand out again, only to start again, filling it up again, the bucket again, and getting to the top, smacking the top of it to get it all flat, and then pouring it all out again. Then, of course, the tears when it was time to go home. Well, it made me think of our lives as a bucket, okay? What are we filling up our lives with? What are we filling up our lives with? As Joshua and Carlin would take quite a while to fill up those buckets, we take years of filling up our lives. And what do we fill it up with? Do you and I, do we make the time to read God's word? So are we filling our lives with God's word, listening to praise and worship music, listening to God's word being spoken, whether it be on TV or it's maybe podcasts that we listen to? What about spending time with other people that speak wisdom and they speak God's word into our lives? We need to remember that as you and I, as we get filled up, we are able to give out. We're able to give out. Also, we need to know what we fill up on is what we end up giving out. What we fill up on is what we end up giving out. What are you and I giving out today? What are we giving out? What are the words that are coming out of our mouth? What are those words? Are they words that build up? Or are they words that break down? Are our words pleasing to God? Okay, we know that Psalms 19 verse 14 says, may my words and thoughts please you. Lord, you are my rock, the one who rescues me. After we have spent some time with somebody, do we come out of there feeling stronger and being blessed? Or do we feel like we're broken down and we don't feel encouraged and motivated? Or how do we leave people feeling? Do we leave them feeling blessed and ready to go on with the day? Or do we leave them feeling broken down and that they cannot carry on with what they need to do? Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29 says, when you talk, don't say anything bad, but say the good things people need. Whatever will help them grow stronger, then what you say will be a blessing to those who hear you. Those who live right say wise things. Proverbs 10 verse 31 tells us, I want to speak words of wisdom, and I know you do too. We want to speak words of wisdom. Today, as you're filling up your bucket, as you're filling up your life to ready to be poured out into somebody else and poured out into others, let this be your prayer today. In Jeremiah 1 verse 9, it says, then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said to me, behold, I have put my words in your mouth. I have put my words in your mouth. Just imagine the impact that you and I could have on others if we spoke out God's word today. How many lives could we touch if we spoke blessing and not breaking down, but we spoke God's word, we spoke the blessing of God onto people? Be a blessing today as you speak out to people today, to your family members, to friends, maybe on a SMS or a phone call, a chat that you may have. Be a blessing with the words that you speak out today. God richly bless you today, and we'll chat again tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.